The main character, a student named Helen, lives in a small apartment on the outskirts of the city. She studies at the Faculty of History and researches forgotten urban places. One autumn evening, returning from school, she notices a black fluffy cat sitting on her doorstep and looking at her intently, as if waiting for something. The cat purrs strangely and, without waiting for an invitation, runs into the apartment as if he knows its place. Helen notices an antique locket around his neck, which looks extraordinarily beautiful, but slightly dusty. She tries to take it off, but the cat breaks free and runs away, inviting the girl to follow him. Helen, driven by curiosity, goes after the cat. He leads her through narrow streets and old courtyards to an abandoned factory on the outskirts of the city, where trams were once produced. The factory, covered with rust and half-forgotten legends, has long been a haven for vagrants, but no one has heard of it lately. The building seems ominous to her, but Helen feels a strange attraction to this place. She follows the cat inside through the broken windows. Inside, the factory looks like a factory frozen in time. Dilapidated machines, rails overgrown with dust, and the remains of old trams. The cat leads her into the heart of the factory, to the old workshop, where she discovers a wooden box with elaborate carvings. There is a locket in the box that looks almost the same as the one on the cat's neck. Helen picks it up and suddenly feels like something has changed in the air. She opens the locket and finds inside a small portrait of a woman with a mysterious expression on her face. There is a hidden bottom under the portrait. It opens and there is a tiny key inside. Helen realizes that this locket is not just an ornament, it hides something. The key seems to fit into something in this place, and her gaze falls on one of the old trams standing in the corner. On the side of the tram, she notices a strange lock that fits perfectly with this key. After opening the lock, Helen gets into an old carriage, which looks as if no one has touched it for a long time. But inside she discovers a cache of diaries and documents telling the story of the factory and the mysterious disappearance of its owners. It turned out that strange mystical events once took place here. The owner of the factory, obsessed with occult knowledge, used trams not only for transportation, but also for conducting complex rituals associated with otherworldly worlds. The woman in the portrait is his wife, who disappeared under mysterious circumstances. The cat, as it turned out, is not an ordinary creature, but the keeper of these secrets, perhaps the embodiment of someone who died during those rituals. He didn't bring Helen here by accident. Now Helen understands that she needs to decide whether to leave the found secrets alone or continue the investigation and possibly open the doors to the unknown. The cat is watching her closely, as if waiting for her decision. The factory begins to come to life gradually, and Helen hears whispers coming from the old walls. She feels that in her hands is not just the key to an abandoned building, but something much more dangerous and magical. The story ends on a disturbing note. Helen is facing a decision that will change her life, and the black cat, as in the beginning, continues to follow her without revealing all her secrets.